session at Enterprise Mobility. My name is Ryan Whitlock. I work as part of the talent acquisition team at Enterprise Mobility. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a brief background about myself, give you a little bit of an introduction, and then I'll hand you over to my co-host as well, just to give you another introduction of who is on the call with you today, and give you a little bit of an insight of what then we're going to be covering during today's call. So I've been with Enterprise for quite a long time. I started off as a management trainee. You're going to hear all about that position today. I've worked with the business in several different positions. So as a management trainee, got to a branch manager, a fast track progression opportunity that we're going to speak to you about today. And I've managed several different offices and branches in the South Wales area. I then took a role in talent development, moved over to talent development a number of years ago and did all of the training and development within our company for the southwest of the UK. And recently moved into a talent acquisition role around 18 months ago. And I now do recruitment for Enterprise Mobility for the southwest of England and all of South Wales as well. I'm joined today by Gabriella. I'm going to allow Gabriella to give a short introduction to herself and how long she's been with Enterprise. And you're going to hear a lot more from Gabriella during today's call, just with relation to some of the topics that we're going to cover, which are going to hopefully help you understand our business a lot more and hopefully help you with either the application process or also to get to know the business a little bit more today as well. So Gabriella, if you could just introduce yourself, that would be fantastic.
Hi everyone, so my name is Gabriella. I work in Daily Rental as a management assistant. So I started just under 2 years ago, did my MQI in another location, and I've been at a airport since last year. So I'm just working towards being assistant manager.
That's great. Thanks, Gabriella. So the reason for today's call is allowing us to kind of show you the role, give you examples of what that role will look like, but also as well allow you to ask as many questions as you want to as well. I can already see that someone has put something in the chat. I'm just going to put this out there straight away. We are going to get through the presentation first so that you can learn as much about the role as possible. And then we're going to be doing the Q&A afterwards. So if you did want to put a question in right now, then absolutely we can try and answer some of those as we go along. We've got someone in the background helping us out today that can maybe answer some of the questions as we go along, but most of them we are going to keep towards the end of the presentation and get those answered for you. So I will just get straight into it and we'll start introducing you to Enterprise Mobility. Perfect. Okay. So the first thing we're going to look at today is just who we are as a business, giving you a little bit of Enterprise Mobility at a glance, just some high level facts about the business. Always good to know interesting facts about a company that maybe you want to work for in the future, just to know the scale of the business as well. So just to give you an indication, we are a large organization. We're a privately owned organization, and we are the 7th largest privately owned organization in all of the United States. We don't sit on any kind of like stock exchange or anything like that at all. Still privately owned, and we're still a family owned business as well, which is really, really important for people to know, and important for our employees who want to come and work for us as well to know that they're going to work for a family owned business. Last year, we generated over $38 billion in revenue. So as you can tell, we're quite a large organization, and we're set to do the same again as we approach the end of our financial year for this year at the end of July as well. So that number would be updated. We're quite a large organization in terms of the amount of people that work for our business as well. So we have over 90,000 team members globally. So we're a global organization. We operate in most countries around the world. Something that you can research is kind of where we're located as well. That's available on our kind of social medias, on our websites as well. But you'll find us mainly in kind of America, North America, Canada, most of Europe, the Middle East as well as other countries around the world as well. So a very large organization with a lot of employees. And as you can see there, it's 90 different countries and territories worldwide as well. Now, in order for us to operate in all of those countries, we do need to have a large network of locations as well. So we need to put those 90,000 people in locations. Gabriella is situated in one of those locations today, which is Cardiff Airport of all places, which is great. And we have over 9,500 locations. And just to give you a little bit more kind of closer to home, here in the UK, we actually have over 450 locations just here in the UK. So one of the main kind of like drives for people to seek employment with us or apply for a role with us is knowing that they're going to be working in a location is sometimes maybe close to your university, close to home, for example, or somewhere maybe in a part of the UK where you've got friends or family or somewhere that you'd really like to work. You're more than likely to find one of our enterprise locations at those locations as well, which is a real pull for a lot of people. You know, some companies or graduate roles that you'd apply for, or even placement roles, would only be located sometimes in very, very large cities like Birmingham, Manchester, London, for example. But knowing that you can apply for a role and stay a little bit closer to home or just somewhere a little bit less chaotic than a city centre, or if your preference is a city centre, you got the options of both really, which is great. We are a Motability organisation, hence the words enterprise mobility. And what we do is we get people from A to B via mobility methods. We're not just a car rental company, even though our most known brand and where most of our employees start is at Enterprise Rent a Car. One of our key things about our brand, our enterprise mobility brand, is that we offer mobility solutions, transportation solutions for many different types of customers. And in order for us to do that, we need lots of fleet, and we have over 2.4 million vehicles available at our disposal. And all of these numbers are set to increase as well over the course of the next 12 months as well. And we have over 300 different types and makes and models of vehicles as well, even as small as golf buggies, but as large as articulated or refrigerated lorries and vans and cars and everything that goes in between them as well. Okay, so we're just going to move on. And I am going to bring Gabriella into the conversation on this slide, I promise. So enterprise mobility, as you can see here, we are a portfolio of different brands. We actually have 11 different brands that you can see on the screen right now. I'm just going to give you some kind of brief highlights of some of these and just give you some kind of insight as to how it works with employees, where you might see yourself in the future when we talk about progression quite a lot. So Enterprise, National and Alamo, they're our car rental brands. We operate these three brands out of airports where Gabriella works, and we also operate them out of train stations and ports as well. Other than that, we operate just Enterprise Rent a Car here in the UK. So you will find Enterprise Rent a Car branches at our 450 plus locations, but anywhere that is an airport or a port location, you'll find National and Alamo. There's other brands that we own, but they are for special types of customers like business users or for kind of holiday customers as well, which you can imagine go through airports quite a lot. We also own brands which don't really have vehicles, but they manage things which are to link with vehicles. So Integral are a technology brand. Integral look after a lot of technology that goes into vehicles or technology that works with vehicles or with insurance companies or body repairers of vehicles as well. So we work with companies from a technology standpoint as well. We have Exotics, which do some fancy vehicles like Porsches, Ferraris, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, you name it, they've got it as well. And we also offer two other brands on here as well, which are growing brands within our business, which are FlexiRent, which look after our commercial side of our business. So they're going to do like vans and commercial vehicles, even vehicles that sometimes you wouldn't normally associate with us, but they're owned by us. Companies lease them from us, like motorway maintenance companies, councils, and other big businesses as well. And we also offer a solution for people to get cars by the hour as well. So very, very short-term rentals, and that is Car Club. Technology is great. We don't have a branch network. We just have thousands of cars up and down the country at the end of streets, very much like those scooters you can rent by the hour or the bikes that you can rent in London. This is just the same concept, but with cars. And that is Car Club. So you use an app, you book the vehicle, you unlock the vehicle with your phone or your debit card, and then you lock the vehicle after you've finished it and you leave it back in the same place. So as you can see, there's a wide variety of things that we do with those 2.4 million vehicles spread across all of these brands. So Gabriella, I'm going to bring you in now. So what was the most kind of interesting thing about this side of it for you since you've joined the company, like knowing that we have all of these different brands?
Well, I think the most interesting bit is the customers. It's the amount of people that with their everybody's got a story when they come in, and most people like to share where they go and what they're doing. And then I think for me as well, very exciting was the cars that we have, because obviously being at the branch, I get to drive the cars as well. But I think customers are the most interesting part of it, and learning kind of through everyday work, because we've got that kind of step by step what we will learn throughout the day and throughout the first few months as well. So I think that's going to be later on, but I think that's kind of the two most important interesting things when you start is the people and the vehicles.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me behind this as well is just the evolution of our brand as well. So when I started, we were just Enterprise Rent a Car. We didn't have any of these other brands on there. So we keep adding more. As you can see, there's a plus sign on the slide there. So we will potentially add more brands as time goes on. And one of the biggest things here to note, especially for the people on the call today, is that more brands means more opportunity. Most people will start at Enterprise Rent a Car or National Alamo, depending on where you work. But Gabriella, for example, may want to progress into a role in exotics or in Flexi Rent or in Car Club in the future. So it's not just a progression route into business support areas of the business, which we'll talk a little bit more about later on. There's the opportunity to move into different business lines, and these are growing business lines, which means there's more and more opportunity. We don't hire usually directly into these business lines. We usually hire from our graduate program into these business lines as an opportunity to progress within the business. So for example, Gabriella may want to be a manager within our Flexi Rent team in the future, or within our Car Club team, or any other of the brands that you can see on the screen there as well. So what is important to know here is that customers are at the forefront of our mind, and we're offering solutions to our customers for their needs. So we're trying to fit as many needs as possible for our customers, which is important. Okay, great. So like many businesses, Enterprise have particular values. And these values are so important to us as a business. And what should be important to you as a potential person looking for a opportunity for a graduate role or a management trainee role at Enterprise Mobility is that you have your own values. For me, when I left university, I wanted to make sure that I worked somewhere where I was going to work with like-minded people. So I'd be welcomed in. I could work as a team. That was really important to me. And one of the other things that was important to me was the opportunity to progress. I looked at other people around me, other people going for graduate roles or other people in full-time employment, and them giving me timescales of how long it would take them to progress into promotional opportunities. And that was something that really stuck with me is, can I progress? Can I progress as quickly as I want to progress? And that is something that we offer, which is great. And that is kind of highlighted within our values as well. So as you can see on the screen here, we've got our founding values. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but doing the right thing is so important to us. And it's really important that our employees know what is important to us as a business, and we know what is important to them as well as our customers. So on here, I'm just going to give you one which really stands out to me, which is our organization is a fun and friendly place where teamwork rules. I've worked in the business a long time. I've worked in different departments as well. And every time I've worked with different teams, I've not stuck with the same team. I've worked with different people. The teams evolve. People are getting promoted around me. People are moving on to different kind of opportunities within the business, which is great, which means there's a lot of refresh a lot of the time. So you work with new, exciting people. And even when you join the new team, you're that person as well. But you you've got people around you doing the same. And every time I've been in a team, I've worked with fun, friendly people. I enjoy the environment that I work in, which is great. It's a huge thing for me, and teamwork is so, so important. Even in the role that I do, which sometimes feels a little bit individual because I work with external partners, with universities, for example, I still feel like I've got a really, really close knit team around me and my talent acquisition team, which is so important to me. And that does rule. Teamwork rules to me. It's integral to our business. So I'm just going to hand it over to Gabriella. Gabriella, I want you to give me two of these which are important to you. I guess they're all important, right? But ones that really stand out to you that you feel like you live by a lot of the time.
Okay, right. I think for me, it's going to be we work hard and we reward hard work. That's going to be first one. And then second one, I agree with the teamwork one. I think that's up there as well. But I think great things happen when we listen to our customers and each other. Those two kind of stick out to me the most, I think, because I don't know how deep I should go into this, but we do
No,
get.
that's right. Well, I'm going to ask you, like, we work hard and we reward hard work. Kind of elaborate on that for me. Why
I
is
would
that important to you?
that we get we've got all our successes throughout the day we share across the area with each other, so we kind of support each other and we will reward each other. And then we've also got the elite club, so we get rewarded for our hard work through that. Sometimes it's events, sometimes it's cash prizes, which is great, bonuses and stuff. And I think they do like trips as well, every so often as well. And then obviously we want to make sure that we feel happy with the work we've done. So we obviously work harder and then we get rewarded more, which is great. And we support each other throughout the area as well with that, because I'm happy for somebody else who's done well in another branch. They're happy for me, and it's just a great community that we've got going on. And then for the other one, which is great things happen when we listen to our customers, is we obviously customers are kind of the main thing why we do what we do. So listening to the feedback that we get to make sure that we're doing the best that we can by our customers, and then the feedback that we can kind of pull from each other when we kind of go around the cars and we do our walk around with the customers. We kind of check in with their day, they check with ours, and it's just a great kind of community we've got going between enterprise and everybody who kind of stops by.
Great stuff. Perfect. Yeah. And it is fulfilling. It is a very customer centric role. I think that's really, really important to get over, is that even though there are loads of opportunity within the business to kind of grow within the business, development opportunities as well, to learn about different parts of the business, which we'll kind of touch on when we move on to those kind of skills and stuff. As Gabriella said, customers are very centric to our business. So you, at the beginning, when you're kind of in your first kind of like 12, 18 months in the company, you will be dealing with a lot of face-to-face customer time. So it's dealing not only with just people who have our vehicles from us, but it's also dealing with external business partners. So we have a lot of businesses that do business with us. So you almost become like a key account manager, and the relationships you build with those, and they are our customers as well. So customer service is so, so important to us as well. And listening to our customers is important. As Gabriella said, it offers more and more opportunity for us. And one thing that Gabriella maybe touched on a little bit, but I want to emphasize is, when we work hard, the biggest reward that we can offer every employee within our business, because we're a kind of promote from within company, is the opportunity to progress. So the kind of like we work hard and reward hard work is, if you are working towards your goals that you'll be given, we will give you a development program as a graduate or a management trainee coming into the business, then you have that opportunity to get promoted through the work that you do within the business. It's not, the hard work does not go unnoticed without kind of rewards and promotions as an overall goal for you. And Gabriella's had promotions. She's had her first promotion. She's seeking her second promotion right now, which I'm sure is going to come very soon as well. Which is great. Perfect. Thanks, Gabriella. Okay. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide. And, again, just looking at values and what's important to us. And one thing that maybe you've seen on there was that, we look to give our communities as much support as possible as well. And we're embedded within our communities. As I've mentioned, we're all over the UK, we're all over the globe. We've got 10,000 locations almost globally. And what we want to do is make sure that we give back to the communities that we serve. So philanthropy is so important to us, and giving back and being conscious of who we are as a business as well, and the impact that we're having on our local communities, as well as the environment and the bigger picture as well. And that is important. It's important to a lot of people coming into business these days, or joining a company. What is that company doing to give back? And can you be part of it? And we do celebrate that, and we do get you involved as much as possible. So I'm just going to walk you through just some of the initiatives that we actually have. And this is just a snapshot, by the way. It's not a total, but fill your tank. We've dedicated, $150 million over a 10-year period to give back to local food banks globally as part of our Fill Your Tank initiative. I've even been part of this where we've looked at doing things around certain dates where we go to local food banks and send employees to work, offer our services, offer our vehicles maybe as a company where we can transport food banks and food from those food banks to help local communities as well, and also donate, which is so important. But sometimes just giving time and giving resource, like Gabriella for example may go out and do some food bank work or giving back to the local community. I'll ask Gabriella what she's been involved in a second, but either way she would have been involved in some things. And something that I feel very privileged about is something that we've done over or will be doing over a 50-year period, and I think we're about 17 or 18 years into it at the moment, is our 50 million tree pledge. So we're planting 50 million trees over 50 years through the Arbor Day Foundation globally, and I've actually partaken in planting some of these trees as well. And I'm just going to put it out there, I'm no good at planting trees. I've definitely not got green fingers, even though Enterprise sometimes is a green logo and everyone says you bleed green. But I'm not. I promise you, I've got no green fingers. I'm better at what I do currently than planting trees. But it was great to get involved. My tree, when I go and see it in a couple of years time, will probably be growing this way. But there are other things that we're involved in as well. But before I move on to those, Gabriella, have you been involved with any kind of community work, any charity stuff? I know that we do kind of My Purpose, My Time, which is a day dedicated every year for each employee to give back.
So I did just last month the Pride in Cardiff. So I volunteered at the gate line with a couple of other people from Enterprise. We've got a lovely picture I've got in my house. And that was great. That was great fun for us as well, because we got to see kind of what's going on behind the scenes, and we got to help out and volunteer, which was a really good time. And then last year I organised for Children in Need. We had a netball match between the girls, so that was also very fun, and allowed us to kind of come together and raise some money for some children.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, and just to go through what I mentioned there, we do something, My Purpose, My Time, which is a dedicated day for every employee to go and do something where it involves kind of like philanthropy or working with a local charity, or something more nationally that we put on as well. I was actually at our regional head office yesterday in Gloucester, and that regional head office for the southwest of the UK did a charity golf day for children in need last week, and they raised nearly £60,000 in the day just for that golf day, which is incredible to give back to one of the charities that we support in children in need. Okay, just moving on from a sustainability point as well, and what we're doing as a company to kind of move with sustainability and making driving more accessible as well, is we're electrifying our fleet. So more and more vehicles in our fleet are going either hybrid or electric to reduce CO2 emissions, because we are a CO2 emitter. We need to be in the business we're in, but we are looking to make sure that we are combating that through electrification and hybrid vehicles within our fleet, and also as well using mobility as a service. This is a very clever way in which we want to make sure that people have options. So rather than maybe taking a train or public transport or something that maybe isn't as reliable, they could use a service like Car Club, for example, to get from A to B and maybe get rid of their own vehicle, which is just sat at the side of the road. when they do drive it, it might be like a diesel vehicle or a heavy polluter. It's costing them money. It's taking up space on the road. So if they've got a vehicle accessible to them as and when they need it, a pay-as-you-go service, then Car Club is a great solution for them. And we're using that for individuals. We're using it for businesses as well, getting rid of their pool cars and going more down the route of just as and when you need it hire through business lines like Car Club, which is important. Just, and it's a big picture. It's something that, we're really heavily investing in, and something which is going to be the future of mobility for a lot of people as well. Okay, fantastic. So, diversity, equity, inclusion are also important to us as well. Everyone brings something very different to the table. Everyone is unique in their own special way. And we recognize that people, no two people kind of share the same kind of combination of background, cultures, abilities, and values. And that's wonderful. We want to make sure that we work in a diverse workforce. It's so, so important to us. So we want you to come to work every single day, add value to who you are as a person. We really strive for creating that inclusive environment at Enterprise, and it's really a place where people can kind of be their best selves as well. And Gabriella, I just want to ask you, from your perspective, you've been in the business a lot less than I have. What do you see coming into the environment from from maybe as a female being in an industry where sometimes you look at it and you go, oh, mobility or transportation, maybe that would be maybe more male, but we guarantee that it's not through our kind of CEO being a female, most of our department heads being females, etc. But what have you seen? What have you witnessed? Maybe just on that part as well.
But when I was applying for jobs, that was one of the things that appealed to me about Enterprise was the women's schemes throughout the company. So we've got the women's committee, we've got the LGBT committee. So that was a really big point for me because obviously I'm a woman, I've got sisters, I've got people in my family who are LGBT. So I think we represented as much as we can. And like I say, I've just volunteered at Pride as well. So I think it's very inclusive, and that was why I applied, but amongst other things, but that was why I applied to work for Enterprise as well.
Brilliant. Thanks, Gabriella. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so we're just going to move on to the next slide as well, which is just, to kind of re-emphasize the opportunity and the progression. I'm just going to keep talking about it and talking about it more and more because it is so, so important to us as a business, is that, we are progressing. We are progressing individually. We're progressing as a business as well. We're growing our business lines. And what that does is it creates opportunity for people. So last year, we had over 20,000 of our team members across various different kind of positions that were promoted or took on different roles within the company as well. Over 20,000 of our employees. When you think that we've got 90,000, 20,000 of them were promoted or took on a new position within the business. So they're progressing within the company. So everyone's progressing around us all the time. Gabriella, I'm just going to ask you, how many people have you seen get promoted around you, not including yourself?
Oh gosh, 6 or 7 around me.
Yeah, that's just you
I would say,
individually,
and
right?
that's since the start. Well, that's since last September. So there's going to be 6 or 7 people that. Well, I've got 2 new assistant managers. We've got a new branch manager. Our old one got promoted to a different one. A few people got promoted doing their management examination as well. So yeah, quite a few. Well, across the area as well. If I'm talking an area, probably about 20-30 people.
Perfect. That's great. Yeah. And it's honestly, it's just continuing all the time. Yeah, I feel like a bit of a dinosaur sometimes. I go in a branch, I don't recognize everyone because everyone's been promoted or moved around or something, which is great. It's a positive thing, which is fantastic to hear. Okay, so we're going to kind of like blow our own trumpet a little bit now and speak a little bit about our awards and why we're a great place to work as well, and why, people aspire to come and work for our company, and why people enjoy working for our company whilst they're in there as well. So we have been voted the 25-26 as well as last year, which was the 24-25 best student employer with Rate My Placement. So we are at the highest ranked, first place with Rate My Placement. So to come and do a year in industry or to come and do a summer placement with us, we are voted first place amongst 100 different employers in the UK, which is something that we kind of sing from the rooftops. And one of the best things about this as well is that our placements and our management trainees do exactly the same development in their first 12 months. So we actually combine training groups of our placement year in industry students with our management trainees. They go through the same development, the same kind of promotion, albeit that the placements go back for university for their final year. The rest who are full-time employees will stay in the business and continue to get promoted. But we are also a Times Top 100 graduate employer as well, and we are also the 2024 Graduate Employer of the Year as well. So these are some great achievements that we've achieved recently, and we like to kind of discuss these, speak about them, which is really, really important to us as well. Now, we're going to move on a little bit to the management training program itself, and we're going to speak a little bit about the role, what it involves, and some reasons why it's a great choice for people as well. And we want to make sure that we have current opportunities which are available up and down the country, and some of you may be thinking about or have already applied, which is great. And we will, or I think we have already put some links in the chat where you can still apply for those roles, which is great. But me and Gabriella are going to discuss the kind of 5 reasons why this is a great opportunity for you as well, and really delve into that just to finish the presentation for you. So firstly, we want to discuss business understanding. Okay. So, we want to make sure that you're coming into a role, you understand it's a management trainee role. So here we're kind of going to inspire you to lead. We're going to inspire you to gain valuable kind of hands-on experience across kind of a variance of different things like customer service, sales, marketing, finance, and all the different operations, along with the kind of project management that you're doing on a day-to-day as well. Now, that's very well me kind of saying what it's going to be like. Gabriella has actually lived and breathed this over the last 2 years. So Gabriella, just touching on some of those things from a business understanding. If you were going to kind of speak to people, which you are right now, who don't really know too much about it, what can they expect from a business understanding based on just what I've even just described there already from your perspective?
Okay, I'll try and not overcomplicate this because I found myself when I speak to people who don't know, I'd say too much. But I think one of the biggest things I've learned is definitely account management. So I've got a few businesses who set up accounts with us, and I speak to them regularly, making sure they're okay. Another thing will be finance. We do a lot of cost control, which is like making sure our invoices are paid, making sure our accounts are happy with the invoices that they've received, making sure obviously that we make money as a branch as well, and that's all up to date. I personally really enjoy fleet management, so that's making sure my services, my MOTs, my cars are all safe and fueled and ready to go. So I quite like doing that side of things as well. We do a lot of customer service. We do a lot of training on the phones, training in person. There's so much. I don't know what.
And that's quite daunting as well. I remember when I first started, even though I'd worked in customer service and I had some experience, just picking up the phone and not really knowing what to say, but you slowly get the hang of things and you get into it. And we offer that kind of like ongoing training and development. You've got someone by your side to kind of guide you through that, which we'll move on to in a second. But we're kind of moving maybe into those or blending into some of the others. But one thing I wanted to ask you, Gabriella, is from a professional skill standpoint, are there anything kind of like highlighted to you, something that you've learned as a professional skill that you'd say that you've really enhanced over the course of the last like 18 months, 2 years that you've been with us?
I think finance and accounting was always my kind of weaker points, and I've learned a lot about that. So that was really good for me, kind of looking at statements, looking at invoices. That this is something I struggled with before, and I've developed that very greatly since. And then probably the second one would be account management as well. That's not something I was very familiar. I've come from a marketing background, So I wasn't very familiar with account management and PO management. So I've learned a lot with that for the last few years, and well, not 4 years, but so managing people as well, because that's one that we do a lot, learn a lot over the first few months, and then we apply that as well, and with the support from the manager, learn how to manage people our own ways as well. So that was a big one for me as well. So I think those are top three that I think I've developed the most.
Definitely some leadership in there, organizational skills, all of those things are so important to build upon. And something that you've touched on there as well, Gabriella, is that kind of opportunity to grow relationships. So, we want people to grow both professional and personal relationships. I loved working it, even still do. I've got new friends now, in my role that I've been doing for the last 18 months, new kind of professional and personal relationships that I've grown myself, and I've been with the business a long time. But we've also as well got those kind of professional and personal relationships that we build very, very early on. So we want to provide that kind of like hands-on training and development, as Gabriella's just mentioned there. We have an open door policy. You may have seen that in our founding values, which encourages kind of like formal and informal mentoring as well. And it's a kind of unique kind of promote from within culture that we have. So, when we talk about promote from within, everyone starts on the management training program and works their way up within the business. So we're not hiring externally into those kind of higher positions. You grow into those roles as well, and you do that through kind of growing relationships with your management team and people around you. We want you to kind of like flourish as well throughout doing that as much as possible. And I just want to touch on as well from a support network. This is so important as well. Support systems we have around us. I've just mentioned a couple, maybe around like mentoring. Gabriella's mentioned is your managers there to train and develop you. But Gabriella, anyone else? We talk maybe about like our initial managers, but what about maybe the departments that maybe you get trained and developed on, or your senior leadership, like your area managers and so on? What does that support network look like for our audience today?
I think it's all very open. So if I have a question in risk department, I've got contacts for the risk department. If I've got a question to do with kind of our corporate side of things, I know people from there, because everybody's very welcoming and open, and everybody introduces themselves when you start. So I've got quite a lot of support from all of those people. And if I need to pick up the phone to one of them and ask a question, they're all kind of happy to help and happy to get back. We've got the area managers, they're always hands-on and happy to help as well. And then I've also happened over the last few months even speak to kind of Heathrow manager, because I was wanting to help get some insights on working in an airport. So everybody's going to have their door is always open, and their emails are always open, and they're always happy to help and answer any questions.
That's great. Thank you. And I think we've touched on this several times, but I'm just going to reiterate, the opportunity to get rewarded, whether that's financially through promotion or through different award schemes, different kind of competitions that we've got going on. And it's not always financial. Sometimes it's like a nice reward, like a day out, for example, or, prizes. But also as well, that big opportunity to progress within the company, which is kind of like where our next slide takes us. It's a good segue. So, as a management trainee, you're going to be given real responsibility. It's so important to emphasize that. And we expect you guys to own that responsibility. We're going to kind of give you the empowerment to have kind of experience, explore. We're going to help you thrive throughout the business, but you do have a lot of ownership that you need to take on yourself, and ensure that you need to make sure that your training and development is adhered to. We give you a 3-stage development program. You work through that yourself. You attend different training classes to help you enhance those skills. And then you will then get promoted to a management assistant, and then you can go into an assistant manager's role, a branch manager's role. You can continue to get promoted based on your hard work and what you're doing to get to those roles. Now, there are other opportunities as well, which is great. This is why we like to illustrate it. So we've mentioned that we train and develop you on different departments. So as a management trainee, as you can see on the screen there, the first step, you will get trained on things like sales, human resource management, business management, and finance. As Gabrielle has mentioned, you get trained and developed on those. And as time goes on, you may actually find a niche. You might think, actually, I'm really good at business management and finance. Maybe I didn't study that, but I've actually really, really enjoyed doing it at Enterprise. I've learned a lot of different skills. I know that I'll be offered further training and development. And you may want to take like a segue into business management and finance, whether that's within our rent-a-car operation or whether that's with one of our other business lines that we have, the opportunity to move around in different departments as well. So, for example, me, if you'd asked me when I first started at Enterprise, would you see yourself working in human resources as a training and development manager? I would have said, absolutely not. Speaking in front of people petrifies me. And then as I got into management, as an assistant manager, as a branch manager, I started leading from leading teams, leading people, and I was comfortable speaking in front of a lot of people or a small amount of people. And as that confidence grew, and I knew that I was going to train in people as well as a manager, I thought actually that role would suit me, and I went into that role. And in that role, I got a good eye for who would be a great person to come and work for us. And now I work in talent acquisition. So, everything happens for a different reason, and you do find your own way within the company as well, which is really good. It's a natural progression opportunity. Gabriella, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Is there anywhere where maybe you want to aspire to after you become a branch manager? Because I do want to emphasize before you answer, most people, we want to get that commitment of getting to a branch manager first and then looking to diversify out into different areas. But where do you see yourself maybe in the future?
Yeah, so I've mentioned this a little bit now, but this is also a moment of me that I would never expect to want to do, but it is fleet and vehicle management. So I'm not sure whether that is the risk side of things or the actual repair side of things yet. I'm working that out now, but it's something within the fleet team, definitely.
And did you ever think that you'd be interested in working in that department when you started?
Absolutely not.
So yeah, as I've just mentioned, as time goes on, you get trained and developed on these things. You go, actually, that's really interesting, or I'd love to kind of work there, and hopefully you get there as well, Gabriella. So fingers crossed for you. Okay, great. So we've mentioned a lot of these. I'm going to bring them up. I'm conscious of time because we've got our Q&A as well. So I just wanted to run through these very, very quickly with you guys and just mention the fact that there are so many different skills. Lots of them we've mentioned already, but just in case we've missed anything, communication is a huge one. You get to learn so much around communication. That means learning about, turning your communication into different connections within the business. Customer service, Gabriella's mentioned, it's hands down customer service is so important that you learn customer service, even if you're great at it already. It's not a policy, it's not a gimmick or anything, it's our business. Everything comes from our customers being our customers and coming back to us. We wouldn't have the business without them. So every kind of goal every day is to exceed those customers' expectations. Management is another one as well, especially time management. We want to make sure that you manage your time effectively. This is a skill I definitely learned, being organized, biding my time with different things and putting my priorities in different categories to make sure I get the job done is a skill that you'll definitely learn on the roll with us. And leadership, I've already mentioned, is natural, it will happen, but you've got to take charge of everything, become a natural leader within the business and take on responsibility because it'll be there in loads of opportunity. Emotional intelligence, we want you to kind of grow your ability to understand other people and where they're coming from, especially from like a leadership perspective or from a customer perspective. And marketing is so, so important as well. So, marketing, building relationships, sales and marketing, even if you've not got loads of experience in it, it is something that you get to learn and develop on the role as well. Sorry, skipped by mistake. Problem solving, I think Gabrielle's just mentioned it. You learn to deal with different problems day to day. Things come up all the time. Situations are constantly changing within the business, and you need to make sure that you adapt through adaptability as well, which is another skill that you'll learn whilst you're with us. Okay, Last slide before we move on to our Q&A. If you are interested, or maybe you've actually gone through part of this process already, so if you are looking to apply following our comms to you, you may have received an email from us or a text message to attend today's call, then we would love you to apply, and you can do that online. You just simply need to go onto our careers website. You need to use the job search function, put in your location and the job that you'd like to apply for. If you fill in the online application, no CV is uploaded, but you do take a lot of information from your CV and put it into that application. You'll then be put through to a competency-based virtual interview where we will ask you competency-based questions based on some of the competencies we assess. Those competencies are available on our careers website, and we do discuss them in a call that we do if you apply. So if you do apply, you'll get invited to another call where we give you more guidance on the application process and how to be successful. Things like the STAR technique, for example, and how to use that in the virtual interview, and also the competencies that we do assess as well. So that is a separate call. I'm not going to go into detail on those, but it is available on our website as well. And if you're successful in that virtual interview, the final stage is a branch visit where you get to go and visit. It's a unique opportunity. Go and visit one of the local branches that you're looking to go and work in. Meet the team, meet the manager, meet the area manager, and see not only if we think you're a right fit for the role, but for you to assess whether the role fits you as well. So it's a good opportunity. It's almost like a try before you buy opportunity. And if you're successful, you then get the management training role. Gabriella, before I move on, just very quickly, have you got any top tips for virtual or branch visit?
Get involved, I think, is the biggest one. So if you're in the branch, ask questions, offer to go out with whoever's serving a customer, listen to what we say, ask questions, I think, is the biggest one. It's just making sure that you kind of, obviously we want to see if you're going to be a good fit, but you want to see if we're going to be a good fit for you. So take that opportunity to ask as many questions as you can, see for yourself kind of what we do day to day. Because my branch visit was great because I actually visited the branch I started in, so I knew exactly what I was getting into when I came in on my first day, which was really good. But I also made sure I asked them 1,000 questions when I came in.
Yeah.
So kind of make sure that if you have a branch visit or even an interview, write yourself a list of questions so that you don't get nervous and forget, because that's the worst thing after an interview, thinking, oh, I should have asked this or I should have asked that when I was there. So I think preparing yourself with that is the biggest tip that I can offer.
Great. Perfect. That's great. Thanks, Gabriella. And that's definitely around the branch visit as well, which is great. Okay. So lastly, we're just going to ask you to keep it social. If you do not follow us already, this is your call to action to get online today. Follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn. We're always looking for more kind of followers on LinkedIn, so we welcome as many followers as possible. But do you know what? It's not about just that. It is about the fact that you're going to get so much great content. We offer some amazing reels on LinkedIn, which give you so much guidance around the application process, preparing yourself for that kind of like interview, preparing yourself for different stages of the interview process. Some amazing content on there. So please give us a follow, and a great way, to connect to us as well, and the people within the business. So LinkedIn, you can follow us, as well as individuals like myself. If you wanted to follow me or connect with me on LinkedIn, as well as Gabriella, I'm sure she'll happily take more connections on LinkedIn as well. And if you wanted to do that, you can do on my QR code, or just simply search my name. You'll find me on LinkedIn as well. Okay. Applying or learning more, enterprisemobility.co.uk/careers, or just simply Google Enterprise Mobility Careers and you'll find us. And obviously we've got the Ireland one on there as well, for Republic of Ireland. And that is pretty much our slideshow done. I'm just going to load up our thank you, Sam. Sam's put my LinkedIn in there as well. I'm going to stop sharing just for now, and I'm going to load up my chat and see if I can answer as many of these questions as I possibly can. So I'm going to scroll up, and then I'm going to go through very, very quickly. If I don't answer your question, feel free to link with me on LinkedIn, and I'll try and get it answered as well. I don't think... Yeah, we do record some of these. They are available on our socials as well. Content remains continuous. So current situation, right? Graduated first. Okay, so driver's license I think came up quite a few times. So driver's license is a requirement. So we do require you to have a full UK driver's license for the management trainee role. Okay, which is what we're speaking about on the call. There are some roles within our company that do not require a driver's license. You can search those via the website as well. But the management training role in particular, you would need to have a UK driver's license to apply for that role. I have a question. Begin management training, please, very soon. Project management, trying to get experience. Yes, so project management, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, your project management, as Gabrielle has mentioned, she's been in charge of several different things within the branch: cost control, customer service, different kind of like projects that we've got going on from maybe like a marketing perspective or a key account management perspective. Loads of different project management opportunities, which is great. Okay. So tech and digital areas, there are opportunities potentially in the future. So if you joined the management training program and then moved into a tech role, I know a lot of people personally that have moved into different kind of tech roles or digital roles within the business. So you can get to those opportunities. Some of them we do open up just as a job. They're not the management training program. Again, you can search those on the careers website as well. Do you get paid? Absolutely, you get paid. Our starting salary for management trainees is £30,000 plus overtime plus bonuses as well. So hopefully that helps answer that question. Is a management trainee a graduate scheme? Yes. So it's kind of like labeled as a graduate management training program. There is a training and development kind of like 3 stages of development that you go throughout that process. So yes, it is a kind of graduate scheme, and it lasts anywhere between kind of 10 and 12 months on average to complete before you get your first promotion within the business, and then start looking at like assistant manager and branch managers roles. You mentioned organizations, places, customers, at the heart, everything it does, which question. Yeah, so we actually do customer service satisfaction surveys with most of our customers once they complete their rentals. So we do measure that, and that is sometimes related to promotions, to different things, branches, KPIs as well. So yeah, customer service is so important to us that we do measure it. Can I join the management training program? Some vacancies. So again, with the software engineering side of things, sometimes they are going to be in and around London, where some of our kind of regional and global and European head offices are. So you can look at those roles. You just need to search them on the website. Again, they're not as wide openings as there are for management trainees. This call is all about the management trainees here, but I'm just going to let you know there are some of those roles which do open on the website. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there are roles in our business that don't always require a degree. We do get people with enough experience that they can come into the roles as well. So hopefully that answers that question. You've applied and had a phone call, but haven't heard back. If you've had a phone call, you would have had an email from that person to organize the phone call. I would suggest just following up with that person, just in case they've been on annual leave or they just need a prompt to get back to you. Fine. Okay. Again, if you want to connect with me on that, person has applied but not received a response, I can follow up to see maybe if that's gone to junk mail or something as well for you as well. We do get that sometimes. In terms of placement years, when do you guys start positions, open spots? Right, okay. So I think most of our placement roles for the roles starting this summer and ending next summer are now full. We do open our placements for next summer at the beginning of October, around October time, and then start interviewing for them to fill those roles ready to start next summer. Do I have to always apply for management trainer? No, so there, as I've mentioned, there are multiple positions open. The main one, though, where we have most positions is the management training role. License question there. Okay, yeah, we don't offer any work experience or unpaid experience. We do offer summer placements, though, if that is an interest to you. And I think Sam has put some socials up. Um, okay. Yeah, I think we've covered most things there. So if I didn't get to answer your question, please feel free to connect to me on LinkedIn, and I'll try and get that answered for you. And I think that would pretty much be it. I'm just going to have a look. Okay, company cars as management, yes. We speak to someone. I said HR. Yeah, so if there are roles again, like in the HR, if that was the question, those are roles that are usually progressed into through the management training program, through management and into those roles. And we're ongoing hiring throughout the year as well. There we go. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Perfect. Well, thank you so much to everyone who joined the call today. Very apologetic if I've not answered your question. Feel free to connect to me on LinkedIn, and I'll try and get that answered for you. But otherwise, enjoy the sunshine. Gabriella, thank you so much for joining us as well. Really appreciate your time today. I know you were a last minute addition to jump on as well. So thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it.